John's gospel has no proper version of the Nativity. There are no shepherds, no angels, no manger, nothing that we would typically associate with the birth of Jesus. And yet, John offers us a deep glimpse into the coming of Christ. He helps us to see the true identity of the baby in the manger. John 1:1-5 says, "In the beginning, the Word already existed. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He existed in the beginning with God. And God created everything through him, and nothing was created except through him. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it." John peels back the curtain and lets us know about the eternal Christ. And in a few quick verses, he reminds us of some great truths. He reminds us that there is a God, and that Jesus is God with men. He is God come down to be with his people. And Jesus proves to us that there is a God who worked throughout history to make the Nativity possible. Everything happened the way he said it would. Everything worked out according to his plan. But more than that, John reminds us that there is a God who speaks. John identifies Jesus as the Word. And biblically, that is a title that would have had great significance to his audience. After all, when God created the heavens and the earth, he did it with a word. All he had to do was speak. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Our God speaks and things happen. Jesus is God's Word. He is the Word that created all things. More than that, he's the Word that reminds us that God still speaks to us today, that he is still at work, that he still brings life. The Word reminds us that there is a God who wants to know us. Finally, John reminds us that there is a God who speaks into the darkness. He said the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. I don't need to remind you that this world is a dark place. We're constantly surrounded by that darkness. And even in this year, we've come face to face with that darkness in more ways than we'd care to admit. Maybe you're facing your first Christmas without someone you love. It might be your first Christmas since the diagnosis, or the first Christmas since the pink slip, or the first Christmas since the accident. Whatever that darkness might be, it has a way of dominating our holiday. But worse, it can even come to dominate our lives. But John reminds us that Jesus is the light. He's not a light that stands away from the darkness. He's a light that comes right down into it. And what does light do when it shines in darkness? Well, it obliterates the darkness, right? The dark cannot be where light is. The birth of Jesus flips the switch and brings God's ultimate light to our dark world.